I want to ask you, where's your sweet spot? Okay, take your mind out of wherever it is that it is, because I'm not talking about anything like that. I'm talking that kind of like that spot in your life, in your journey, that makes your heart sing. You know, that thing that you do that actually always brings a smile to your face, and actually you have this warm feeling in your heart. That could be when it is that you're with somebody in particular. That could be when you're doing something, when you're speaking, writing something. Where is your sweet spot? You know what was interesting for me was this morning I woke up at 4:35. Yeah, I kind of have that whole kind of crazy wake up early type something. And I discovered a video interview that I had done last year. It was an hour long and I actually sat and listened to it. There's always something a little bit weird about hearing yourself or seeing yourself, but it was just really amazing because it really encouraged me. And one of the things that I talked about was the fact that I had found my sweet spot. And until it was that I actually heard myself say that, I hadn't really thought about it. And I get, well, as you know, my kind of energy levels are high. I get excited and passionate just for sharing my kind of wit and crazy and pearls of wisdom. I'm calling them wisdom, just in case you don't. My pearls of wisdom with others so that they can frame their own stuff, so that they can do and be more of who they've been called to be, but also to share it with their world. And so that's my sweet spot. My sweet spot is the point at which it is that I connect my thoughts, my heart, and my language, whether that be written or spoken, all with the intention of just encouraging somebody else, just encouraging them. You know, I'm not encouraging anybody to do anything, but just to be themselves. That's my sweet spot. Where's yours? Because I'm convinced now that the point at which it is that you find that and you understand it, then you can do the things to develop it, to polish it, to ignite the fire underneath it so that you can share it with other people. Because I am convinced, I am certain that we are all blessed, whatever blessed means to you, however it is that you define it, that we are all blessed to be a blessing. And the more it is that we connect and engage with the stuff that makes our heart sing, the more it is that we're connected in that space, the more in a flow we become, and then stuff happens. I saw a video recently of one Sunday where a pastor had, pulled up his vehicle on the street, opened the boot, played some music, and just had a word for the people on the street. And I thought, oh, I wonder if I've got a microphone or a megaphone, or I could do that. Because I believe that when it is that you are in your flow, when you find your sweet spot, that anybody can give you a microphone anywhere and you have something to say. Because it's coming from here. You're in your flow, it's coming from here. It isn't coming from, oh yeah, did I study that? Oh right, did I write that script? I'm not really sure. If you come back to me next week, I would have had an opportunity to kind of look at it and actually come up with something for you. No, when you've found your sweet spot and you are in your flow, you can talk. It may not be, reams and reams and reams, but you can actually talk, it makes sense, and it have an impact. And I believe that, and I know that, because when it was that I thought, do you know what, I'm going to do this morning spark thing, I actually didn't have a formula for it. I didn't sit down and write and say, okay, this is how it is it needs to go. This is the formula for it. I just thought, do you know what, I'm just going to sit, and I'm going to sit in front of the camera and I'm going to talk. A topic will come into my head and I'm going to talk about it. And I'm going to talk about it from my heart. I'm going to talk about it from my experience and from my my journey through life. I'm going to talk about it from that space. And you know, one of the things that I have been amazed at is, oh my gosh, I am so in my flow. I have so found my sweet spot. And those days when things are a little bit wobbly and a little bit shaky, sometimes I may forget for a moment and get lost down another pathway. But I come back quickly because I know my sweet spot. I know where it is that I am alive, where it is I am connected, and where it is I am on fire. And I know that this isn't just a me thing. I know that I'm special. And yes, there are times that I have special needs. But it isn't just me. You too have a sweet spot. And if you don't feel that you have, that now's the time to really to peel back the layers and to discover it or create it, whatever it is that means to you. But there is one where it is that you are happiest, where it is that you are of service. Because this sweet spot I'm talking about isn't a self-centered space. It's a space where it is that you feel comfortable and confident and that you can give more, because it's a space of fullness. That whole bit that when you're in your flow, you know, when it is that they play to music that you like, there's a song that you like, that your body automatically starts to move to the groove. You start to get with the flow and you're doing your thing. That's what I'm talking about in relation to the sweet spot. When it is that you find that, you discover that, you are always in flow. And you know quickly when it is that you are not, and that you now know that actually I need to get back to that place, because that's the place where it is that I am happiest. That is the place where it is that I am of greater service. That is the place where it is that the magic happens. Because trust me, find that sweet spot. Yeah. And people will tap their feet, they will dance, they will sing along, because you are in your flow and people want to get connected with that. So if you are, whether or not you are a business owner, whether or not you want to be a business owner, whether or not you are an entrepreneur, whether or not you are a teacher, an employee, unemployed, wherever it is that you are on your journey, that sweet spot is still a real space that actually find it. You can call it whatever it is that you like, but I'm calling it sweet spot. Maybe it's because I like sweet stuff. Or you could call it your happy place. Actually, which just reminds me of something. I remember years ago seeing, there was a pastor by the name of Joel Osteen, and he was being interviewed by Oprah, and he'd had lots of criticisms about his ministry, and she'd asked him how he deals with those criticisms, and he said that in his life he's on one level all the time. And I remember sitting there thinking, he's a liar, that's not possible, because there are ups and downs in life, he can't possibly be on the same level all the time. And then I went to see the Dalai Lama at the Lyceum in the Strand, and as I was walking along there were protesters outside protesting against him and what it was that he stood for and all of that kind of thing. And whilst I was in there, someone asked the question about how does he deal with negative people in his life. And he said, in his world, there are no negative voices. And I thought, And then he went on to explain that in his world, there is love, there is peace, there is joy, there is laughter. And I thought, oh my gosh, I now understand what Joel Osteen was talking about. And I now decided that actually is our happy place. That is our sweet spot. Because in that space, we don't hear the negative voices. We don't hear the disruption. We don't hear those things because we are in our flow. And it's not that we don't acknowledge them. It's not that we don't know that they're there. But when we're in our flow, we don't allow them to derail or disrupt us. So Whether you want to call it your sweet spot, your happy place, whatever name it is that you want to give it, because it's about you. Find your sweet spot, happy place. Find it, because you will be surprised at just how much more energy that you have to tackle the challenges that are coming our way on a daily basis. Yep. So that's it. My question to you is, where's your sweet spot? Something to think about today. So, from my heart to yours, I'm wishing you a great one in your corner of the world. Have an absolutely fabulous day.